This lesson should be fairly quick. One of the first things in your chapter 2, when you enter that chapter and you begin to read, you'll see boxes that talk about premise and conclusion indicators. And I wanted to just go through a quick lesson on those. Those are words in the English language that indicate that a claim in what may be an argument or what is an argument is whether it's going to serve as a premise or a conclusion. There are standard words, or words I should say, that we use to indicate premises and conclusions when we communicate our ideas. Now, a lot of times we don't pay particular attention to those, so the point of this lesson is to call those words out and bring them to the forefront of your mind. So, looking at this set of boxes then, let's talk about the first box, which covers conclusion indicators. Now, these are words that typically will come before the claim. So if I introduce a claim that my dog is a Jack Russell, and I say, therefore my dog is a Jack Russell, that word therefore indicates to your mind, or it should indicate to our mind, that I'm drawing a conclusion, I'm drawing an inference. And if you heard me just randomly say, therefore my dog is a Jack Russell, you would wonder, well, what did he say before that? What else did he say that I missed, or he's not saying something he should? Because the word therefore sort of indicates that you're drawing to a conclusion. One of the things I was always taught in my graduate studies when I did some work in text interpretation was this: whenever you see the word therefore, look back to see what it's there for. And, you know, it's an interesting little aphorism, a little witty saying, but it reminds us that the word therefore really is a word that indicates that we're drawing to a conclusion, a series of ideas, and now making a point with them. And so the word therefore will typically come before a conclusion. Same with the word thus. Same with the word hence. Now, these other phrases, the next two, this shows that, and this suggests that. This refers to what came before it. My dog is small, and this shows that he can fit into tight spaces. What I'm indicating is that my dog being small provides evidence for a certain conclusion, and it shows that, or provides evidence for the conclusion, that he can fit into small places. Same with this suggests that. Now, if I use the phrase this suggests that, I'm still saying that the idea that follows that phrase has logically derived from some prior claims, but we'll make some notes in our next lesson about the different kinds of arguments, and the phrase this suggests that is actually indicative of a specific kind of argument, but we'll get there. The word consequently, you know, we're talking about a consequent. Now, not every time that we talk about consequences are we making arguments, but sometimes we do use the word consequence or consequently, it's adverbial form there, in an argument sense, so look for that word. The word so also, the word accordingly, this implies that and this proves that. Each of these phrases or words are words that tell us that what comes after it is going to be a conclusion. Now let's look at some of the premise indicators. You'll notice that the final one, because, is ostracized. Not ostracized, but ostracized. It has an asterisk next to it. I'll explain why when we get to that one. Look at the first 4 in this series. The word since, S-I-N-C-E, the word since indicates that you're providing a reason for something. Since Johnny woke up late, he missed the bus. Well, the word since there precedes or comes before what is going to be the premise. I am to believe that he missed the bus. And why? Because he woke up late. What I did there was not actually an argument. I was actually an explanation. We'll get down to that with because. So if I said Johnny missed the bus since he woke up late, then the word since there is coming before a premise or a reason to believe that Johnny missed the bus. Same with the word for. Same with in view of, and this is implied by. This here in that phrase refers to the conclusion, and that conclusion is implied by means it follows from, if you go to our prior lesson, these premises or whatever premises or claim or claims are listed. Now the word because has an asterisk next to it, and the reason why is because the word because sometimes indicates that an argument is present, and where the word because is in an argument, it will generally precede a premise or premises. Sometimes the word because is not used in an argument, it's used in an explanation, and that will be a point made in the next lesson, is the difference between arguments and explanations. But where you see the word because, you may well be looking at an argument, and if it is in fact an argument, then what follows the word because will be the premise. Okay, so there's a quick lesson for you on that.